So then you have an interview, which is great, but your job process work, job getting process work does not stop after the interview. There's still one more thing, at least, that you need to do, which is to send a thank you note. That's what professionals do. You had an important meeting with someone who's now hopefully going to be a valuable part of your network. You follow up with a note. That's what professionals do. That's how professionals network. And here's the thing, especially with entry level, a lot of undergraduates applying for opportunities. At that level, a recruiter, a professional at whatever organization that you interviewed with, they would be surprised if half of the people that interviewed followed up with a note of any kind. That would be a surprising percentage, actually. Probably less than that. And the people that don't follow up with a note, they almost certainly won't get the job. Because, again, that's like highlighting that they don't know how it works. And of the people who follow up, of the subset of people who follow up with a note, probably like 19 out of 20 will be an email. Just because that's sort of the knee-jerk, well, I guess that's what everybody does, right? So it is what everybody does, mostly. Here's the thing about that. For a lot of industries, following up with an email is fine. For some industries, following up in any other way would be weird. So for example, let's say that I'm applying for a web design or user experience design or user experience management position at a high-tech company. It would be weird for me to follow up in any other way than with an email, because that's the way people just communicate. That's the expected mode of communication in that industry. But let's say that I'm following up on an interview that I had for a public relations job or a design job, like interior design, landscape architecture, something like that. It would be a lot more strategic to follow up with a hard copy of something than with an email, because it would make a bigger impression. So, like for example, I have two older sisters. One of them works in finance. She works in New York. She works for a big New York investment firm. And she has personal meetings with new contacts all the time. It's not interviews, but she has personal meetings with folks. And she always follows up on those with a card, like a card. Business-like, very plain. She actually has custom, they're very conservative, but they're custom cards that she had made. And she writes a handwritten note and follows up with that. In that industry, that makes a big impact, because it's just unusual enough that it's like, wow. But it's not so unusual that it's like, what? Okay. So consider whether a hard copy follow-up note of thanks for the interview would be in any way appropriate. If it would be, follow up with a hard copy. We'll make an impression.